The following content is sponsored and does not necessarily reflect the views of WATD Radio. Now, Paul Ponders on 95.9 WATD. Be a part of the show. Call or text 781-837-4900. Now, here's your host, Paul Solano.
Greetings and thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD. My name is Paul Solano of PS&L Marketing Group, but before I go on, it's really great to be back, and I want to thank Arthur Boyle for hosting last week's show while I was at my daughter-in-law's baby shower. We had a great family time. My oldest daughter was in from California, and she said that she really does love listening to Dad on the Odyssey app. So, maybe I'll elaborate on that later on. But as you probably already know, I also wear another hat as general manager of Pearl Street Station Restaurant in Malden. Pearl Street Station was recently featured on America's Best Restaurants, an independent marketing firm from Kentucky. One huge reason for this huge honor is because of Chef Felipe Fitzpatrick and his culinary team. Chef Felipe is a loyal listener through the Odyssey app. So hello to Chef Felipe. How you doing today? We have lots of stuff going on at Pearl Street Station this whole weekend. I know that you are in the middle of prepping with Chef Joaquin for so many events and party pan pickups. Plus, the backyard barbecue season is kicking off. Tomorrow we'll be in Wilmington. Then we go to Stoneham. And we already have something on the schedule in Brockton. So it's going to be really busy at Pearl Street Station Restaurant. Happy Memorial Day weekend to everyone. Let us not forget those who fought and continue to fight for our country. On the way down, traveling from the Malden-Medford area, I was listening to Duncan Gray, and he has a great show. I love listening to his show. And he gave a great history of Memorial Day. So happy Memorial Day to all. And also to a shout out to Tom Williams. He's probably listening on the Odyssey app right now because he's up in Maine. He's on his farm in Maine. Now, I know about the great farmer who's outstanding in his field. And I know that Tom is a great attorney and very outstanding in that field of law. But it was so interesting to hear about his farm up in Maine, and it was a great episode. And I enjoyed listening to his son too. Congratulations on what young Tom has been doing with the Airbnbs and his real estate investments. So congratulations to them as well. Now, as I have continually stated over the past 24 shows, and this is show number 25, can you believe it? It's an absolute honor and pleasure to be on WATD in the slot of the boiling point of Arthur Boyle. I really cannot believe it. I just want to, again, give a shout-out to Mr. Ed Perry for believing in me, for allowing me to move into Arthur's former boiling point slot. Rob Hackler, he's been great, and Tim McKenney has been absolutely awesome. We'll hear from Tim in a second. Dave Cedrone, Tom Gorman, really the whole team, the whole Saturday team that has welcomed me here. And I cannot believe 25 shows, silver anniversary. And with us, behind the glass, is Tim. Tim, how are you?
Doing fine, and congratulations on 25 shows.
Well, thank you. Yes. I appreciate that, and really, I truly appreciate you, and I'm speaking into the mic, I'm not looking at you, but I really do want to just acknowledge the fact that you have taught me so much about live radio and being in a studio and being focused, and thank you, Tim, for that.
You're welcome.
25 episodes to me seems like a lot, but how many episodes, how many shows have you produced over the course of your 24 years here at WATD?
Quite a few. Just shows that have come and gone. It's I can count on more than my two hands. All the shows I've produced, and it's been a few to say the least.
Well, it's not Carl Sagan's billions and billions, but
no.
Would you say it's thousands and thousands?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yep, for sure.
Well, congratulations for that.
You.
And I think further back there is Dave Cedrone still back there.
No, he left. He's out. He's done.
He's done. He's enjoying his birthday tomorrow, right?
Yes. Happy early birthday, Mr. Cedrone. My goodness.
Absolutely, without a doubt. And also to a quick shout out to the a caller who I've become friendly with over the past 6 months, I guess, since I met him at the company Christmas party. But Matt from Pembroke.
Oh, yes. Good old Matt Delaney.
Matt Delaney has been awesome. He and Mona, his wife Mona, they're awesome people. And a shout out to Matt for being a loyal listener and also spreading the word of Paul Ponders and all. So I guess at this point of the segment, we're going to have the PodPro Entertainment Techie Toolbox segment with Techie Talonzo Amos and Shelley Wolf, global media firm owner of Toolbox Entertainment and a past Paul Ponders podcast guest, episode number 35. So I see Shelley on the line. Shelley, are you there?
I'm here, Paul. How are you doing today?
I am doing well, thanks. Doing well. The sun has come out here in Boston. Are you in Philadelphia today?
I am in Philadelphia. We're trying to keep the sun out, so we're hoping it arrives at some point here.
All righty. Well, that's really great. So I know we have another great episode planned. You were chatting last week with Arthur. I thank you for taking the time to be with Arthur. I was at my daughter's baby shower,
yeah,
and all.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that you always bring such great segments, great tips to us.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a pleasure talking with Arthur and just enjoying the day. So I'm glad you had a good chance to be with your daughters during that. So, and congratulations on 25 shows. Like, this is amazing.
It really is. Thank you. Thank you so much. No, wait. I hear we have late-breaking news. Ms. Shelley Wolf, would you like to report some late-breaking news that you have?
Yes, some late-breaking news I have accepted an offer to become the executive director for CCTV out in Cambridge, and so I am going to be relocating to the Massachusetts area.
That is fabulous. Yay, all right. Welcome. Wow.
Thank you.
Welcome to Taxachusetts. No, just kidding.
Wow, that is awesome.
I think you're right, Tim. I think you're right.
Yeah, a little bit.
That is awesome. Way to go. So when do you move up here? When do you start your job?
Yeah. So I will be starting to move now. I've actually just been packing, and I'll be moving up in mid-June, and then and starting in the very near future. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. Now, this is in Cambridge.
It will be in Cambridge.
Cambridge. Yep. Okay. And tell us about this station. If you want to tell us about this new venture.
Yeah, so Cambridge, CCTV is Cambridge's community access media station, and we are so excited. They've been around for, nearly, I would say, I think it's 38 years, and, just got a great reputation. Anyone can come in and create content, become a member, produce shows, and I'm just very excited. They've got a really prosperous programming going on there, amazing board of directors and staff, and, it's just a wonderful nonprofit. I've been doing this work for about 27 years now, and so this will be my 5th station I'll be going to. So it's sad to be leaving Philly, but I've been running the education channel out here for the last 10 years, and I know that I'll be leaving it in good hands. And, I've had a real opportunity to work with so many amazing students and watch them grow up and go into media fields. So it's very exciting to me. And so now just to kind of come back to the roots of working on the public side and working with youth and with adults, I'm really, really excited. So I cannot wait. Thank goodness we have Massachusetts is such a state that really favors and supports community media, and the communities really support community media, and it's such a wonderful feeling. I back in the day I lived up in Fitchburg and ran the Access Center up there as well, and so it's just I'm excited to come back to Massachusetts and just be welcomed back by all those folks and by all you new folks for me. So this is really exciting to just kind of start a new journey.
That is awesome. It really is. How is a studio funded? I think I have a knowledge with the education program in government, and it ties into the cable bills. Is that how it works with the utilities?
It is. So back in the 80s, as cable companies were coming in, laws were passed that allowed for what was called use of right-of-ways. So all the cabling that sends signals over those channels allowed for public access to be negotiated. So it's public education and government channels, making sure there was transparency in the world of government and making sure, the education channels and public access channels existed. So there was no censorship and allowed community members to actually create programming about their communities. And the consumer, it does get passed on to the consumer. So if you see something on your bill that says PEG funding or PEG access, there's a small percentage that goes to that, and that gets negotiated with each city. So up in Mass there, you guys have like a community media center almost in every single town, which is really amazing because it's one of the few states across the country where that actually exists. Again, very honored to be able to come to Cambridge and work at such a highly acclaimed, it's the second largest community media center in Massachusetts. So I'm just really honored to be able to go and lead there and work with the community and be ingrained in the community. And like I said, there's just such a great board and staff and community members that are involved. And just, it's going to be a really fun time.
Well, that's awesome. And again, congratulations. And thanks for sharing this late-breaking news with us on Paul Ponders on ATD. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, indeed. Well, at this point, and Shelley, if you don't mind staying over, I know we didn't get to your techie tips, but do you mind doing that after we hear from our commercial sponsors?
Yes, we got to pay those bills.
Absolutely. Well, as Arthur Boyle says, it's not time to make the donuts. It's time to pay some bills. So let's hear from our sponsors.
South Street Diner, located at 178 Nealon Street, Boston, is Boston's only all-night dining destination, open 7 nights a week for late-night eats. Yep, that's 24/7 in my book. Owner Saul Seidel has grown this former iconic Blue Diner to be the place to go for keeping the party going or filling your stomachs before you head home to the South Shore or the Cape and the Islands and listen to WATD along the way home. Ask Saul about his grandmother's banana bread recipe, the Boston cream pancakes, umpteen eggs Benny offerings, and tell him that Paul Ponders sent you. Attention WATD listeners, don't leave any money on the table. Call Performance Appraisal LLC and appraiser Arthur Boyle and Associates. Arthur may be reached at 781-293-6900 or Boyle6900 at AOL.com. Since 1994, Performance has developed many niche services ranging from appraising single-family homes to providing expert witness testimony. Again, call our own Arthur Boyle at 781-293-6900.
Have you heard about Pembroke Collision? Price and quality don't often collide under the same roof. Not so at Pembroke Collision at 192 Manakeesit Street in Pembroke. Pembroke Collision will work with you and your insurance company to get you back on the road in a safe and satisfactory vehicle. Put your trust in Ben Bastianelli and his crew at Pembroke Collision. Just call 781-293-4040 or find them on Facebook. Pembroke Collision. Happy to work for you. Have you tried Bryantville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that's steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Bryantville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Bryantville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Bryantville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857.
A reminder from Crystal Clear Pools in Kingston. Pools can be fun and a relief from summer's heat, but they can also be a safety concern. Crystal Clear Pools offers safety tips including don't swim alone, don't dive into unfamiliar waters, have automatic locks on all gates and points of access, know where all your safety equipment is located and know how to use it, know where the nearest telephone is in case of emergency, and always keep your pool clean and sanitized. For other safety tips and quality pool products, stop by and see us on Route 27 in Kingston, Crystal Clear Pools, 781-585-7665. Be safe this season.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
We are back, and thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD, show number 25. And I would really be remiss, and I did overlook this note that I had on my sheet earlier, but a shout out to Coach Bill Wilhelm and his wife Marcia for listening to us, for being loyal listeners, and for Coach Bill Wilhelm. We're up here on the second floor of ATD. And this is a very special dedication area for Bill. And Bill, we're thinking about you and Marcia, and hope you're having a great weekend. Now, our call-in number is 781-837-4900, and you could also find us on that Odyssey app that I alluded to earlier. My daughter Ann was in from California, as I mentioned, and she said, Dad, this Odyssey app is really, really cool, and thanks for mentioning me. And she says, but you know what's really cool? I could listen to so many other radio stations across the United States. It's really, really cool, so many different genres. So if you have a chance, download that Odyssey app. That's AUDACY. And also a quick shout out to a classmate of mine from BC, class of 84. He lives in Duxbury with Stephen Joyce. He had emailed me through LinkedIn and said that he was in a store, and this show was on the radio in the store. And he said, that voice sounds familiar. It's Paul Solano. And hi to Steve Mal listening from Tewksbury. Now, listeners can go to paulponders.com to find subscription links to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, as well as finding past Paul Ponders on WATD shows. My last podcast, number 62, was dropped the other day, and that was with Scott Whitley of Wicked Bites TV. It's receiving rave reviews, and Scott really did a great job, and he has such a great brand with Wicked Bites TV. And on June 2nd, I am dropping another episode of Paul Ponders with State Auditor Diana DiZoglio, and this is an absolutely fabulous episode, and I really encourage you to go to paulponders.com and listen in and rate, review, subscribe, but listen to what State Auditor Diana DiZoglio has to say. She really does have a lot to say, and it's all good. And now at this point in the program, we usually do have the financial wing of Olympic proportion with Olympian and former Boston Bruins winger Dave Jensen, Senior Loan Officer of RivWorks Credit Union. This week, Dave is with his family, but we've held over Shelley Wolf from Toolbox Entertainment on the line. Are you still on the line, Shelley?
I'm still here. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for holding on. And again, congratulations. And you prepped some techie tips for us.
Thank you. Yes, I did. We're rolling in here to this Memorial Day weekend, right? So first, I just want to say, let's remember to honor those that we've lost in service. People love to celebrate during this weekend, but I think it's also, we got to remember why we're celebrating. So a shout out to all the families who've lost members who've died in service, and remembering those during Memorial Day weekend. But as we jump in, summer has unofficially begun, and Memorial Day weekend kicks off a season of parades, cookouts, fireworks, and tons of beach trips. But if you are not prepared, you will get stuck in that Massachusetts traffic. So if missing an event or circling the block or looking for parking can just become so nerve-wracking. So I want to provide some tips today. I thought it would be really great to think about what are some friendly tips that we could use as we go through the summer in Massachusetts and have fun like a pro. So we're going to start off with beating the traffic and different road closures. There is an app called MAF 511 app, or you can just use the website. But again, an amazing app. It's in real time. It offers road closures, detours, construction updates. It's also, lets you know, actually, you can select different things on it to know whether the pavement's dry or wet, icy, slippery for when you're out there in the wintertime. It gives you different parking lots. It also lets you know, for those of you got EV charging cards, it's got, you can select information for that or find rest areas. It also gives you great bike routes. So, again, a great way to navigate what's happening because, again, we have so many road closures when we're navigating parades and festivals and, all that last-minute road work that happens up there. So you can visit MAF 511.com, or again, download that app. Definitely a great lifesaver. Google Maps and Waze, again, shows live traffic and suggests faster routes. So again, always great. Also look for orange and red lines. That's also going to tell you that traffic is typically backed up and that like there may be a major problem. So you're always looking for those green and yellow lines in those maps. And enable traffic notifications. Set up your route in advance, turn on alerts so that you're warned about delays before you leave the driveway. Another great one is if you're traveling.
Excuse me, Shelley. Could I just interrupt? Tim has something he wants to add.
Yes, you mentioned two great apps to travel with on your smart device: Google Maps and Waze. They both work well, but if you're worried about battery life and resource consumption on your phones, Waze uses less than Google Maps.
That is true. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. That's absolutely true, Tim. Yes, Waze uses less bandwidth there. So, yes.
And it just seems to work a little faster, too, doing stuff.
A little bit more active, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say, like, the one thing, like, we have to remember is those, for those of you that are from Mass, right, like, the roads are unique. So sometimes these Google Maps are not caught up with all the roadways either.
Correct.
So, yeah, no, absolutely. And if you're traveling on airlines, again, you might just make sure you're keeping a lookout for your flights. There's been a lot of cancellations and a lot of holds right now with different things going on. Actually, Techie Tralonzo popped into Philadelphia today. He's going to do some pondering with me. So, but Airways is also another good app to use. So now we will go to what's open and what's not, because that's the other thing that happens during these holidays. A lot of times things are not open. So you could do Google searches, type in what's open, the business names. Obviously, if it says holiday hours, I always encourage people just to call just to see if they're going to be open, because, again, these apps aren't always correct, and you want to make sure that if you're trying to go somewhere, especially if you got to drive far from home, that you're going to be able to get there. So, and to have them be open. Yelp or Travel Advisor is great. Usually provides real-time hours, customer updates, and whether holiday closures are posted. Again, great for finding restaurants, different restrooms, picnic spots, are on the fly. Local city websites. Also, a lot of the town halls and community spaces put out information about holiday services and changes, open beaches, and event schedules. So again, remember, search your town. But when you're searching, it's also key to kind of be very specific. So you could put your town plus Memorial Day schedule, or what you might be looking for. Your town festivals or your town road closures. Those all help when you're doing your searches, is to be a little bit more specific. Also, you can do summer parking. You got Spot Hero or Park Whiz. I think are really great apps. You can reserve a spot in advance for concerts or beach areas or city events. And they also sometimes offer discounted pricing for booking early. So those are always good. I know you got the Boston Park app or Park Boston.
Right.
Pay for extended time, illegal parking without using a meter, and especially helpful, especially in the Boston Common area and Seaport. And then many towns offer free or relaxed parking on holidays, but others have restricted zones. So again, just being very cautious so you're not getting tickets when you're parking around town. So check your town's website. Find out where there's fun near you. You can go to visitma.com, Massachusetts official tourism site, listings for parades, fireworks fairs, and free events. You can check out Eventbrite. Facebook also has a lot of things where you can pre-book advanced tickets in advance and know exactly where you're going. There's also an app called SoWa Open Market. It's a local favorite spot to go, or New Bedford Summer Sound Series, Tanglewood, Cape Cod, Canal Days are all big favorite things to explore during this time of year. So again, add these to your digital calendars. We've talked about Google Calendars in the past. Set a reminder so you don't miss them. I also know that WATD is putting out information about, what's happening on the roads and the weather. So make sure you check in with them as well. So quick tip checklist: download the Mass 511 app, Waze, possibly Google Maps, Spot Hero or Park Boston to find parking ahead of time. search Google or Yelp for holiday hours, visit MA or Facebook, and enable phone notifications. But again, as Tim brought up, phone notifications will wear down your battery on your phone as well. So again, just if you're trying to savor your battery, or just make sure you also carry your charger in your car. So this weekend, take a moment, set your phones up for some summer access and summer fun. Download the apps, check your traffic before you go, and don't be afraid to explore something new in your own backyard. Tech doesn't have to be complicated. It's just another way to enjoy your summer with some more freedom and a little less frustration. So again, thank you for having us, and have a safe and sunny Memorial Day weekend. Stay curious, stay connected, and until next time.
Wow. Well, that is absolutely fabulous. And Shelley, how do our listeners get in touch with you?
Absolutely. They can reach out to us at info@podproentertainment.com.
Wonderful. And you said that Techie Talonzo is in Philadelphia, right?
Techie Talonzo did make it to Philadelphia today, yes.
Wonderful.
A long flight.
Well, please say hi to the executive producer and owner of Pod Pro Entertainment for us.
I absolutely will.
You got it. And Shelley, thanks again, and congratulations on the breaking news, the new position and all. And until next week, my friend.
Until next week, thank you. Yes, I look to come hang out with you and Tim down there at WATD. So.
That would be fabulous. Hashtag indeed.
Hashtag imagine. Have a great day.
You as well. Thanks so much, Shelley.
Thanks.
Well, I think it's time to hear from our very gracious sponsors.
South Street Diner, located at 178 Nealon Street, Boston, is Boston's only all-night dining destination, open 7 nights a week for late-night eats. Yep, that's 24/7 in my book. Owner Saul Seidel has grown this former iconic Blue Diner to be the place to go for keeping the party going or filling your stomachs before you head home to the South Shore or the Cape and the Islands and listen to WATD along the way home. Ask Saul about his grandmother's banana bread recipe, the Boston cream pancakes, umpteen eggs Benny offerings, and tell him that Paul Ponders sent you. Attention WATD listeners, don't leave any money on the table. Call Performance Appraisal LLC and appraiser Arthur Boyle and Associates. Arthur may be reached at 781-293-6900 or Boyle6900 at AOL.com. Since 1994, Performance has developed many niche services ranging from appraising single-family homes to providing expert witness testimony. Again, call our own Arthur Boyle at 781-293-6900.
Have you tried Brianville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that's steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Briantville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Briantville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Briantville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857. Have you heard about Pembroke Collision? Price and quality don't often collide under the same roof. Not so at Pembroke Collision at 192 Manakesett Street in Pembroke. Pembroke Collision will work with you and your insurance company to get you back on the road in a safe and satisfactory vehicle. Put your trust in Ben Bastianelli and his crew at Pembroke Collision. Just call 781-293-4040 or find them on Facebook. Pembroke Collision. Happy to work for you.
A reminder from Crystal Clear Pools in Kingston. Pools can be fun and a relief from summer's heat, but they can also be a safety concern. Crystal Clear Pools offers safety tips including don't swim alone, don't dive into unfamiliar waters, have automatic locks on all gates and points of access, know where all your safety equipment is located and know how to use it, know where the nearest telephone is in case of emergency, and always keep your pool clean and sanitized. For other safety tips and quality pool products, stop by and see us on Route 27 in Kingston, Crystal Clear Pools, 781-585-7665. Be safe this season.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
We are back, and thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD. The call-in number here is 781-837-4900. And also, I never had a chance to cut a commercial for the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame. Massachusetts chapter earlier in the week, but I do want to acknowledge the fact that there is a comedy night coming up, an education awards night coming up on June 26th at Giggles, and Dave Russo, one of our board members for NIASH, is in fact putting together a wonderful show, as he always does, and we're giving out two $1,500 education awards to two very worthy recipients. And more information will follow. You have to listen to our commercials that we'll have, hopefully starting next week. And while we're on the subject of NIASH, the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame Massachusetts chapter, there's a bocce tournament coming up on September 14th, and that's going to be in Malden, one of two venues in Malden, actually, for a bocce tournament. We're piecing that together. I'm actually on the board and treasurer of this very great organization that's been around for several years, since the late 70s, early 80s. And then on October 5th, we do have our Hall of Fame induction banquet, and we're very pleased to honor, it's okay to go public with this right now, on October 5th, and I believe we're just securing the venue with the Anthonys in Malden, but we have Coach Al Finaro, the head football coach of Xaverian Brothers High School, as one of our recipients, and also to Joe DiSarcina, who is a former member of the Augustines Athletics inner city baseball team and a local coach. And he also played in the San Diego Padres organization, if I recall from reading his bio. There are two main honorees, and then we have a special award. It's called the Tony the Champ DeMarco Award, and it's given to someone who really exemplifies what it's all about for doing things for the kids, being involved with athletics, and just being an all-around good guy, humanitarian. And the first recipient of that is Coach John DiBiazzo, who is the athletic director at Catholic Memorial and head football coach and longtime Everett High football coach. A really great guy as well. So more details will follow and all. But I see on the line we do have a call in. Bob Hilberg, welcome.
Hey, Paul, how are you doing?
I am doing well, thanks. How are you this fine day?
Awesome. Always be awesome.
Absolutely, without a doubt. So, Bob, what's happening in your world as executive director of Gotham Whale?
Well, we got a lot going on. Next week, we're actually combining with the Nature Conservatory to put together some boat safety courses. We're working with the Coast Guard and a bunch of different organizations to really put free videos out there to really protect the whales. One of the things we're seeing out there is there's a lot of people on small boats, and never mind the ships, that are hitting these whales, the minke whales, the right whales that are endangered, and once in a while the humpback whales. So that's what Gotham Whale is all about, is education, and we're putting together a boat safety course for people. So keep your eyes and tuned on our website, gothamwhale.org, to find out more information about our boat safety courses we're designing and creating.
That's great. That's great. And you're also doing some stuff with citizen science.
Yeah, exactly right. So part of our mantra or our mission is really to get people out there and connect with nature. And if you see a whale or a dolphin, we have a citizen scientist. Say that again. Citizen science wanted program. So if you see a whale, we don't care where you are, just report it to us. We want it, if you can get the picture of the tail or the fluke, that'd be great, because we track the whales that are out in the ocean and find out where they are. We just had a bunch of them go by Provincetown in the last couple of weeks, and now we're going to have the humpback whales coming in. The New England Aquarium just started the whale watching last week, so it's cold out there, and that's why you need a Gotham Whale hoodie. We got some great Gotham Whale hoodies that people are wearing. Keep yourself warm to get out in the ocean and connect with nature. But the citizen science, bring your camera and take some pictures, and then send it to us at Gotham Whale. Gotham Whale, info at Gotham Whale, or research at gothamwhale.org is the email, and tell us where you are and the time that you took it and location, that type of thing. And we have over 450 whales that we have in our catalog, And some of them we haven't seen for a couple of years, and some of them they stick around for a month or two as well.
That's great. That's great. Now, I do know, and in full disclosure, I am on the board of Gotham Whale, and it's a really great organization to be part of. And we received some international attention and exposure, if you will, when we were contacted by an international bank. So if you want to let our listeners in Paul Ponders land know about this exciting initiative.
Yeah, so last year there was some eDNA, environmental DNA, that they did in New York Harbor, right by the Statue of Liberty in Governor's Island. And we're doing it again this year. And I'm actually going down, and there's two of us are going to be on this little rig, and we're just really going to videotape and watch the scientists take the eDNA at 10 different samples around where the Sail Grand Prix race is going to be on June 7th and 8th. So there's catamarans, that hydrofoiling F-50 catamarans that can go up to about 100 miles an hour. Wow. We're going to be sailing those from Denmark and Italy and Brazil, United States, Switzerland. It'll be on TNT TV for 2 days. It's a huge event. And this is one of the spots they do it. They do it, I think, in 8 different locations around the world. But they're coming to New York City. And we're going to be promoting that. And I'll be meeting with Deutsche Bank a couple days beforehand to do some promotional interviews and collaboration with them. And Nature Metrics is the company that's actually doing the eDNA sampling. So that's real exciting that Gotham Whale is hooking up with companies from the United Kingdom and Germany, and certainly, in New York City, bringing that to the worldwide exposure of what whales are and their environment and what we're going to find. So we have a PhD, Danielle Brown, who just got a PhD, just graduated from Rutgers with marine science and marine biology, and just been studying whales for 15 years. She's been with Gotham Whale pretty much since day one. So she does some of the research for us, as well as our whole big team behind us of volunteers. So if anyone out there wants to kind of help us educate and bring more curriculum to the middle school and high school and elementary schools, we've got a program that we're working on, as well as inspiring the next generation to find their passion, whether it's videotaping, doing promotion, or getting into the marine world and the environment. We've got a lot of things going on with Gotham Whale, so I appreciate that.
That's fabulous. And, yeah, shout out to Dr. Danielle Brown. And she is just so knowledgeable. And I've never met Danielle in person because we pretty much do everything via Zoom. But I will meet her in person one day. But I'm just totally astounded by her depth of knowledge and what she brings to the table. And it's really great having her on board with Gotham Whale and just cataloging everything and just making it happen for us.
Absolutely. I mean, she lives it. I mean, that's what Gotham Whale is when you're doing something with your full heart and soul, and she's really 24/7. Whales are in her blood, and it really started with the father, Paul Elseswerder, who was out there looking for seals and saw a whale and said, "What are they doing here? This is huge. This is Gotham City, big city, big whale." He wrote a book about it for kids. And we've taken his legacy to hopefully another level, bringing this worldwide attention. And certainly everyone in the WATD listening area, you've probably heard some of these stories. And we want your stories about what it's like to get out there in the ocean, or for that matter, from the beach. Some people are seeing whales just with their binoculars.
Absolutely.
Connect with nature, get out there, collect some seashells, but see these magnificent animals and how they dance and sing and jump and breach and all that kind of just magnificent stuff.
That is fabulous. Yeah, it's unbelievable what you've been able to accomplish since working Gotham Whale, and it's really great to have you as the executive director, just motivating us and making it happen, as you say. So I just want to go off script here with a recent fundraiser that you were part of earlier this week. So if you want to let our listeners know about another project you're working on up in the Medford area.
Yes, so I appreciate that. So there's this woman, Sarah Bradley Fulton, and if you've ever been to Medford, there's Fulton Street and Fulton Heights, and she was a mother of 10 back in the 1770s, and, being that busy, she actually made it into British homes and collected information, being a housewife and a cook and just a cleaner and that kind of stuff. And she got some information, and she was able to work as a spy, and she actually rode across the Boston Harbor a couple of times to get information to George Washington and some of his team. She was part of the Boston Tea Party. They actually call her the mother of the Boston Tea Party, because if you've ever been involved with that, some of those people that were on the boat were disguised as Indians, and that was her idea, so that if they ever get captured, they would just say they're an Indian. They weren't any kind of treasonous people that might get arrested. So she painted the faces of her husband and some of the people, and we're trying to build a statue for her, and we've raised a ton of money, but we still got a little bit ways to go. It's going to be 6 foot high. It's done by Skylight Studios. Robert Shaw, who's done a bunch of sculpting for a lot of different areas, including the Ron Burton award that the Patriots give away. He sculpted that for the community award that the Patriots give away every year. So very well-known sculptor. And we just raised a couple $1,000 on Wednesday, and we had Anthony Samaco give a little presentation about the value of Sarah Bradley Fulton and what she meant to the Revolutionary War. And actually George Washington, after the war in 1789, came to her house and thanked her for some of what she did to make this country what it is right now. So,
wow. How cool! How cool!
So it's the nonprofit is called Looking Back at Medford History. Looking Back at Medford History. And if you want to donate or anything, just check out the Facebook group. And Laura Duggan is the president. I'm the vice president, and we've got a lot of support for this. We've got the statue made in bronze. Right now, it's 26 inches. We had that displayed at the Medford Library this past week, and we'll have some more fundraisers. And then in October, we'll have a Sarah Bradley Fulton Day at the Salem Street Burial Ground. So we'll have George Washington and actor John Koopman III. He's coming up on his horse, and he'll be George Washington, and we'll have Marquis de Lafayette and Governor Brooks and different people that are really in costume and reenacting, and Laura Duggan will be dressed as the ghost of Sarah Bradley Fulton. So keep your eyes open on that. Event Them is a big help for us. They put together all of the sound system and everything else. So a shout out to Event Them in Medford to really help us with all that.
That's
but it's pretty amazing that there's not many female statues out there, and this is something that's going to be about 8 feet high, and it's magnificent. So
that's awesome.
We just that's another fun thing that is out there. You want to bring some value to the world, some smiles to the world, and some history to the world. So I work with them on a nonprofit basis as well.
Well, as they say, Bob, if you want a job done, you ask a busy person, and that person will get it done. So, Bob Hilberg, I want to thank you for being on, Executive Director of Gotham Whale. And until next week, my friend, hopefully we'll be chatting before then. I want to thank you for being on.
Awesome. Always great to be with you. I appreciate hanging out with you a couple weeks ago. We want to have a shout-out to the birthday of P.J. Sisweather, whose birthday was this week. He's the visionary director of Gotham Whale. So happy birthday. And I want to say hi to Barbara Bing, who I was getting my hair cut, and she heard my stories, and she donated some money to Gotham Whale. So you just never know who you're going to meet.
That is so true. Well, Bob, I thank you so much, and we will catch up with you soon, my friend.
You got it.
Thank you, and be well. Indeed. Hashtag indeed. Well, listeners, I want you to stay tuned to WATD for Memories with Ron Dwyer, the grand poobah of oldies rock and roll. Ron, you are a true leader of the pack and great musical memories of yesteryear. So thank you, Ron. Thanks again to Tim, Arthur, and our advertisers. But really, thank you, listeners in WATD world and beyond. 25 shows, and we're going to keep on Paul pondering. #Indeed.